The Clockmaker's Secret. In the small, mist-covered town of Ashcroft, there lived an old clockmaker named Elias. His shop, Timeless Wonders, was a relic of a bygone era. The shop brimmed with antique clocks, all ticking in harmonious rhythm, each telling not just time but a story. However, one clock stood out. A grand, ornate grandfather clock with an unusual design. It was known as the Eternal Timekeeper. Locals whispered about the clock, claiming it had magical properties. Some said it could turn back time, others believed it revealed the future. Elias never entertained the rumors, dismissing them with a chuckle, but deep down, he knew the truth. The clock was no ordinary timepiece. It was a gift from his mentor, who vanished mysteriously decades ago. Elias guarded its secret zealously, fearing the wrong hands might misuse it. Chapter 1. The Curious Stranger. One rainy evening, as Elias prepared to close his shop, a stranger arrived. She was a young woman named Clara, desperate and drenched from the storm. She claimed she was searching for answers about her missing father, who had disappeared 20 years ago. Her only clue was a faded photograph of him standing in front of Elias's shop. Elias's heart skipped a beat. The man in the photograph was his mentor. Struggling to mask his emotions, he invited Clara inside. As they talked, Clara revealed her father's obsession with time and the peculiar sketches he used to draw, sketches of a clock eerily similar to the Eternal Timekeeper. Chapter 2. The Clock's True Purpose. Elias revealed that the Eternal Timekeeper wasn't just a clock, it was a gateway. The intricate gears and mechanisms masked a portal to moments in time. Arthur had built it using forbidden knowledge, intending to explore time's mysteries. However, he warned Elias that meddling with time could lead to devastating consequences. "Your father was brilliant but reckless," Elias explained. "He entered the portal to fix a mistake he deeply regretted. I begged him not to, but he was determined. I tried to follow, but the clock sealed itself after his departure." Clara was undeterred. "If the clock is a gateway, then I can find him," she said. Elias hesitated. Activating the clock was dangerous, and the cost of traveling through time was high. But seeing the fire in Clara's eyes, he agreed to help her, provided she followed his instructions precisely. Chapter 3. The Journey Begins. Elias and Clara worked through the night, recalibrating the clock. As the gears clicked into place, a golden glow emanated from the clock's face, illuminating the room. "You must choose a moment to travel to," Elias instructed. "But be warned. Altering even the smallest detail can ripple through time." Clara chose the day her father disappeared, hoping to understand what had happened. She stepped into the clock's shimmering portal, feeling a strange pull as time folded around her. She emerged in the past, in her childhood home. She saw her younger self playing in the garden, and her father, Arthur, working on blueprints for the Eternal Timekeeper. Hidden behind a curtain, Clara watched as Arthur spoke to someone, a shadowy figure with a commanding voice. Chapter 4. The Pact. The shadowy figure was a man named Lucien, a self-proclaimed guardian of time. He accused Arthur of creating the clock without permission, breaking the laws of time. Arthur argued that his invention could fix mistakes and save lives, but Lucien was adamant. The Eternal Timekeeper was too dangerous. Lucien demanded that Arthur destroy the clock, but Arthur refused. Instead, he made a pact. He would use the clock one last time to undo a tragedy in his life, after which he would surrender the invention. Clara realized this was the moment her father vanished. As Lucien left, Arthur activated the clock. Before stepping into the portal, he whispered, "I'm sorry, Clara," and disappeared. Clara wanted to intervene but remembered Elias's warning not to disrupt the past. Instead, she followed Arthur into the portal, determined to confront him. Chapter 5. A Father's Regret. The portal transported Clara to a desolate future. She found Arthur in a crumbling cityscape, staring at the ruins of what was once Ashcroft. Time had fractured, and reality was unraveling. Arthur was shocked to see Clara. He admitted that he had tried to save her mother, who had died in an accident, but his actions had created a paradox. Each attempt to fix the past only worsened the future. "I thought I could rewrite time," Arthur said, tears streaming down his face. "But I was wrong. Time isn't meant to be tampered with." Clara begged him to return with her to the present and fix the clock before it caused more damage. Arthur hesitated but agreed, realizing it was the only way to protect Clara and the world. Chapter 6. The Final Sacrifice. Back in the present, Elias waited anxiously by the clock. When Clara and Arthur emerged from the portal, he was both relieved and alarmed. The clock's mechanisms were spinning out of control, threatening to tear a hole in time. Arthur took responsibility for his actions. "The only way to stop this is to destroy the clock," he said. Elias and Clara protested, but Arthur was resolute. He dismantled the clock's core, using his knowledge to contain its power. As the clock disintegrated, Arthur began to fade. "Time is reclaiming me," he said with a sad smile. "But I'm glad I got to see you again, Clara. Live your life fully, no regrets." Clara reached for her father, but he vanished, leaving only the faint echo of his voice. Chapter 7. Moving Forward. With the clock destroyed, time stabilized. Clara stayed in Ashcroft for a while, helping Elias clean up the shop and learning more about her father's legacy. Though she mourned his loss, Clara found solace in knowing he had acted out of love. She resolved to honor his memory by cherishing the present and accepting life's imperfections. Elias, inspired by Clara's courage, decided to retire and pass on his knowledge to her. Together they transformed timeless wonders into a museum, preserving the remnants of the mysterious clock and the lessons it taught them. The end.